sisters, it's true.
It is so not true. Like I mean, I think if anything, I don't want to get beat up, so I'll be careful what I say. But no, I mean, I think people are more accepting of weight issues on both sides these
No, I don't
days.
see no man running to have no BBL, but you see women having BBLs and putting themselves under the knife, trying to look for perfection. And I see more men walking around with a big belly than I see women walking around with a big belly.
That's yeah, no, I would agree with that. I
Yes.
think, but as a man, we kind of just have to accept life. Life is brutally honest with us. If she don't think you're handsome enough, she gonna tell you. And we kind of have to accept that. So we know we got a big belly or we bald headed or whatever we got going on, but I think we just have to live with it, and we just so I think we don't really worry about it too much. And honestly, I'm be real with you. I can't speak for everybody, but I think for me and some of my peers that I speak to a lot, they just prefer to see natural, man, because I mean that's who you really are. Because I think some of that stuff, like I'm all right with anything makes you feel better, cool, go for it. But my thing is this: what happens with your children? So if you were a skinny girl with not a lot of curves and stuff, and you go get some stuff done, get some work done. So what happens when your daughter gets to puberty and she start developing and she noticed that she's not curvy like mom and she trying to figure it out? Like, so I don't know. Maybe I overthink these things.
That's why you go to a plastic surgeon and you get those things ready. So we're talking about while we're talking about GLP-1 and we're talking about feeling good, we're talking about wealth code unlock. Remember, wealth is different to everybody. Some people may say wealth is being healthy to them. And like Aaron, AC the money guy said, you can have $1 million and be laying up in the hospital. So wealth is health. So I think you should do whatever makes you feel like you're that person at the time.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you. I'm just a little bit scared because I don't know exactly what happens when they put you under anesthesia, but that's scary to me. Like that they can put you in a state where you're still alive, but they could do all these things to you and you don't feel nothing and they bring you back. So I'm not for any voluntary surgery myself. It's got to be a life-threatening situation. But hey, you only live once, so do what you do and make the most of it. Make the most of it.
Shout out, shout out. Here's another political thing about wealth. Do you think men with more money should have more babies and more baby mamas? Shout out to Cam Newton with baby number 99999. What do you think?
All right, so so you said repeat the question for me one time. I want to make sure I get this right. Okay.
That men with more money should be going around impregnating all these women. He's on baby number 9 and your friend is on baby number 12. Spinning facts. Yeah, I'm spinning facts. It's okay for a man to have 10, 15 children, but it's not okay for a woman to have 5 children by 5 different baby daddy. Double standard. Go ahead, hit on that one. Well,
that's not a double standard because he got to pay the cost to be the boss. So, and I mean, as far as I know, like you talk about Cam Newton, and I mean, Nick Cannon, he's another one. I mean, the money is definitely not an issue. These guys are wealthy and they can afford to take care of the children. All my concern would be, what about the time? With the kids, are you able to spend time with them? And I think it'd probably be more successful like in a poly type situation than everybody in their own separate homes, because like how often is the kid going to get to see you? Like so from that aspect, I think no. But I mean, if you're being financially responsible and all that, I mean, I think it's up to you. Me personally, I like having all my eggs in one basket.
So you're saying if somebody, see, here's the double standard again. If someone has money, then it's okay to have 9, 10, 12, 20 children. But if you don't have a lot of money, then you shouldn't have a lot of children.
Well, you have to take care of your children. So it depends where you live. If you live in the country and you have 9, 10, 12 children on the farm and you don't have a lot of money and y'all still can eat and everybody's healthy and y'all living good, y'all might live better. So I don't, it's not an issue with that. But I think if you can't support the children, and I think because that leads to a lot of crime. That's why people commit crimes a lot of times, because they feel like they don't have an opportunity and there's not an economic opportunity. But I do feel it's a little bit different between the man and the woman, in the sense that typically if a man has children and he, remarries or gets with the next woman or and they get together. She might care for the kids when they come to visit him and things like that, but she probably not buying no sneakers and all the rest of that. But if he gets with her, she probably want him to buy sneakers and all the rest of that for the baby. So I think that's probably a big part of it, from a guy standpoint. And I mean, just me personally, like one of the things that would cause me issues is because all the women or all the men that she has children with, you're gonna have to interact with them guys, man. They don't want to come see their kids and how they gonna act, and you know what I'm saying. So that's a lot of baggage. But I mean, everybody have to decide. It's an individual thing. You can't put everybody in a box and say that everybody who's in that situation, no way I would ever talk to somebody in that situation, and you can't just say, oh yeah, that's no problem. I think it's just kind of a case by case situation.
Okay, what you think is going on in this crypto world right now? It went up. They said this is the highest they've seen. What you call that? I'm not into crypto, so
Yeah.
what is it called?
Well, I know the market is really up. It's really high. And so I've been hearing some things. I mean, there's been some movement in crypto. I know some people who play in that space, and there's a few things that people have been keeping an eye on. I've been hearing about Dutch coin, and there's another one I can't think about off the top of.
Bitcoin.
Oh yeah,
That's what's really high.
That's the main one. And that's driving all of it. So I mean, it's good. It's working out for people. I know people who save hundreds of thousands of dollars, and some who've even become millionaires off of what they're doing with Bitcoin and stuff. But I'm just the type of person. I'm just the type of person who, if I can't explain it to a 3-year-old, I'm probably not going to get involved. And I have a high level overview, kind of understanding of it, but I don't understand it enough to put any significant investment. Like, to me, in my opinion, and I hope you guys don't get upset with me about this, but to me, that's kind of like Las Vegas money in a sense, because it's like
you can't touch it. You can't feel it.
You can't touch it. You can't feel it. And I don't have any influence. Me personally, I'd rather invest in things that I have influence over. If I have a company, or if I partner with you, we have a company, or if we buy a house, or we can touch it. We could do something. We can paint it if people don't want to rent it. We could fix the carpet. We can run a sale in our business. But with those things, you're just riding. You're on for the ride. Whatever decisions are being made, that's affecting how you live. What's your thoughts on it?
I'm one of the people that see it both ways. I really don't trust a lot of people. So with trust come that fact of you holding my money and I'm not holding my money. I like something that I touch, feel. If I don't like it, burn it down. So I agree with you. And the 1%ers, we don't know what they're doing. They just doing what they're doing. And I agree with you. We from the old school. We want to see our money, want to touch our money, want to feel our money. And thinking about that, check your withholding. If you got a big refund last year, it's a good idea to review your W-4. And I forgot to switch over one of my paychecks. I know I'm going to be in for a rude surprise next year. Okay, do you know, Aaron, that if you file an extension for your 2024 taxes, your refund is still due October 15th, which is next week, Wednesday. No exception, even during the government shutdown. Did you know that?
I did not know that. I knew that the 15th of October was the date that when you file an extension, when you need to get those things in. But people better get on that. So Dr. Huie, so what about those folks who filed an extension, who were planning to book an appointment on your calendar? They never got around to it, and the 15th is coming. What do they do? What do they do at this point?
Don't call me.
Oh, Lord.
I already have 3 big clients right now, and I have to get it done by Wednesday, and I already had put those in for those clients. Well, you can still get your taxes done, but you're going to get penalties and interest and fines. You're going to get the penalties, you're going to get the interest added, and you're going to get the fines. And remember, the IRS is not just I owe you and I owe you $10 fine. It's accrued interest daily. Even though, the government shut down, you still have to file. You are so correct. Yes, you have to file October 15, 2025. No exceptions. Even though they have a government shutdown, you're still going to get penalties and interest if you file after the 15th.
Okay, so, all right, so I get it. You're busy, and people who didn't think about that, it's going to be difficult for you to help them. But what do they do? All right, you said don't call you, but who should they call? What should they do? Can they file an additional extension? What happens after the 15th? Like, is there anything they could do to stay in compliance if they have not completed the taxes? No, they're just going to accrue
They
the
just
interest.
have to still do it. They have. I went up the person online saying October 15, 2025. You can file your taxes as long anytime you want. That is not the issue.
Okay.
You will get the penalties and the fines and the interest that accrue after the 15. You're already getting the fines anyway, but it's going to be just doubling more. You can do your taxes up to 3, 4, 5, 6 years, but the penalty, we're talking about the penalty and the interest. There's no abatement unless you're in a certain or specific situation. Like if you're out of the country and you're
Okay.
military, there's some abatement for it. Or if you went into bankruptcy, they can lower it. But when we went to the September, July IRS conference, you can get rid of some of the stuff, but the penalty and interest will still stay there.
Gotcha. So it sounds like the best thing that they can do at this point is just to get it done as soon as possible.
Right.
So you're behind, you're not by the 15th, but just remember those penalties and interest accrue daily. So even though you may not be able to get in there in the next 6 days and get it done, you want to make sure you get in there as soon as possible and take care of that, because again, if you owe, they're accruing that daily.
Yes.
And if they owe you, you don't get nothing. They just you gave them an interest-free loan, and so yeah, go take care of that, because if you wait and you owe them, you're gonna owe them more, and if they owe you, you get no interest. So that's even worse than that 0.0001 interest on the savings account that most of these banks are throwing out these days.
Okay, and a good thing also right now, the standard deduction is up for single. I think it's 15,000 something. I don't have all the specific information yet because of the big beautiful bill, but married couple jointly, there is going to be some big tax cuts for us. You know who's in office? He believe in marriage. I'm not have nothing to add to it. We're not a political standpoint. We're doing what we always do, but it's bigger deduction this year for everyone, of course, because economy is up.
Yeah.
It's up. So if you give me a standard deduction of 15,000 and you add $725, $725 not even my car payment.
Yeah. No, I hear you. So,
Right.
I mean, that's big, because you don't have to itemize in order to get that. Like,
No, it comes off the top.
how much did it go up from? What it was last year?
I know for a single from 15,000 is 15,725. For married is 30. The standard deduction are bigger for everyone. Yes, it goes by how you file: single, head of household; married, filing jointly; marriage, filing separately; or widowed. So it's different this year. I would have the new information next year next week about what it is. I don't want to give incorrect information.
No.
Here's something a lot of people don't know. All them baby mamas and baby daddies, this is it. You can get, because I had someone come into my office and she asked me this. She said, I have one child for one person that I'm with now, but my first son I have him for somebody else. I don't know if the father filed income tax for the child, and the child does not live with him. The child live with me all the time. There's something you can do to protect yourself from identity theft and from other people using your children. Get an IP pin. It's called an IP pin.
Tell
You
me
go,
about that.
yeah,
What is that?
identification pin number. So nobody can do the taxes in your name, only you or your children name. So you can get an IP pin. When I'm doing doing taxes for the clients, if I send it through, it kicks it back and says this person have an IP pin. That means nobody else in the world can do your taxes. But if you don't have the IP pin, anybody can use you and do it under your social security number. So protect yourself from identity theft, from your baby daddy you leaving using your children. Get an IP pin. And it happened to me before. A guy in, I think in Virginia, he was in jail for 1 or 2 months. His baby mama passed away.
Okay.
So the kid came to live with him.
All right.
And he's the one that was taking care of the child. So he was taking care of the child for, I think, 7, 8, 9 months. The baby mama passed away, so he went to jail for a month. It happened to be around tax time. Yeah, you can protect you and your kids with identity. Thank you for shouting out, Tara. That is true. So when he went from jail and came back, Do you know the auntie inside the house had used the child for income tax?
Yeah, that
Yes.
happens a lot, man. People do
Yeah.
that stuff, and
Grimy over money, right?
yeah. So here's my question. So there's a lot of people who are not married these days, and
Right.
so people have children
Mhm.
and they're not married. So how does that work when you have a child? Like, so for example, in a situation where I know some people like
Mhm.
uh, the dad will claim the kids
One
one
year.
year and
Mhm.
then the mom will do it the next year.
Right.
So how does that pin affect that? So
The
'cause
person that's in charge of the child would have the pen and give it to the next child. The
ah,
person, because
so
I've
the
had that done.
so basically the pin is going to attach to everybody in your household, and so
No, to the no. If I'm like you are the one that applied for the pen.
okay.
Aaron applied for Johnny.
Oh,
Johnny.
so each
Only
person would
you
have
have
their
it.
own pin.
Right.
Right? Oh,
Right.
okay. So I get it.
Right.
So I would apply, so if I apply for myself and my kids and
Right.
all that, and then next year, their mother's going to claim them or something. I give her the pin, so then they'll
Right.
accept
Only
it.
one person is the one controlling the pen. Because I've had it where the lady, she have two kids, and it happened this year. She has two kids. The baby daddy ain't there. She working at a restaurant, taking care of these two children.
Sure.
He got mad with her and he claims one of the child. And that's not because you know they get sometimes $7,000, $8,000 for one child.
Sure.
So they claim the child and you haven't even given the child a bottle. Not even a bottle.
Yeah, that's bad business, man.
Mhm.
Because I've heard of that happening before, like before this pin situation. I think it's a good addition for security
Right.
because I've seen situations where they might have that agreement amongst each other, but the other person might be shooting bad, and they decide to go ahead and file the taxes real quick, and you're done because it used to be whoever got there first. That's how
Right.
that went. So no, that's real good. I think that's a good addition. You think that will help, or you think it's going to cause some confusion with getting taxes done?
It doesn't cause any confusion because you just have to have the pin, and if you lose the pin, you can go on ID me, ID.me, and you can look for the pin. So I think it's an added security.
Okay, love it, love it, love it, love it.
Okay, this is your forte. Now, 401k, you can donate up to $23,000 for 2025. What does that mean if you're under 50?
Well,
401k?
yeah, man. First of all, 401k, if you are working for a company, or if you own a company,
Mhm.
a 401k is a great way for you to not only take care of your employees, but also get some tax deductions on
Mhm.
both sides of that.
Okay.
And then, as you know, 401ks often will have a match. They'll have a matching
Mhm.
percentage, where if you put up to 6% or
Mhm.
what they're going to match. So definitely take advantage of the free money and go do that. And I
Okay.
mean, with the IRS allowing that limit to be higher,
Right.
that's more money that you'll be able to save,
Mhm.
tax deferred. So anything you can do to reduce these taxes, that's helpful. And
Mhm.
so when you compound those type of things, along with those increases in the deductions
Mhm.
and things like that, you can find a little extra space and hopefully get a little bit nicer of a refund. But yeah, it's big. 401k, you got to save for retirement.
Yep.
We're not going to be young forever. Um, we you're as young as you're ever going to be, and you're as old as you've ever been, all at the same moment.
Wow.
And we got to accept that. We're getting older,
Mhm.
and you got to take care of yourself. You got to plan for the future. Um, I don't want to be a greeter at Walmart when I'm a old man. That's not my idea of good retirement. So, I got to put those things in place. So,
Shout out to the greeters at Walmart. You know, sometimes people don't go to those jobs because they don't have money. They go to those jobs, and I've seen it, and it's a lot of men also because they don't have any family, and
sure.
that's how they get out to have the human touch. That's why when people have the self checkout at the different stores, I ain't doing it. You're not giving me a 1099. I am not working for you. It's a shame that we're pushing out human beings to bring in all these machines when we still need that warm touch. I remember when I was in psychology, they're like, if you have a baby and within the first one day you don't touch that baby or you don't nurture that baby dies.
Wow.
And it's been proven because human need that interaction,
Yeah.
social interaction. Human need that touch. Human need to look at you and feel the warmth. That's why the Bible said the greatest of all is love. We want that
You
need
do
and that
need love.
want.
We all
Yes,
need
we
love from
do.
someone and
Right.
somewhere. That's very important. And you brought up a good point. Like I'm like you. Like I am not bringing up my own stuff for multiple reasons. Number one, you're not paying me.
Right.
You're not gonna give me a discount. Now, if you're
Right.
discounting my stuff by 5% or something, I may
Mhm.
consider doing it. But people who are in those in stores and
Mhm.
things like that, where they're seeing these things happen, I think some of them don't realize that is it's like you're conditioning the customer to do business without you.
Right.
Because some of those people, like I'll go into, like for example, you gave an example of a store. I don't like going in there because it just takes so long. But I want somebody to ring my stuff up, so I
Right.
asked somebody to do that for me, and so she had an attitude. She rang it up on a self-checkout thing for me to pay. And I'm like, part of the reason for me doing it is because I'm not getting paid to do it. I don't
Right.
I don't work for free. I
Right.
do my nonprofit work on Sundays and those 501c3s that are important to me.
Right.
Shout out to Helping Hands. I need to have them in here. They do a great Days of Giving event every Thanksgiving. And they really take good care of the homeless. I think last year was like 250, 300 people. Feed them, clothe them, take good care of them, get their hair done,
Oh wow.
all of that good stuff. Oh yeah, they're everybody's VIP red carpet ready, and it's amazing. But I think they're not really thinking about the fact that you're teaching people to do business without you. And it's like, so when you have the attitude, you're like, yeah, you can bring it up yourself. It's like you don't even realize in a couple more weeks or months or years, when you get people comfortable enough to do that, they're not going to pay you to stand there. And that human touch, I I prefer it, man.
Me
Like,
too.
I mean, there's some things like it is convenient, like to be able to research information yourself and find the answer yourself. But sometimes when something's complicated,
Right.
you want to just talk it through, or something
Right.
that you haven't done often. So, I'm a big proponent of the human touch, and I think
Mhm.
that we gotta, um, really think about that, because who's winning and who's losing with this AI
Right.
economy?
Right.
Because if people automate too much,
Right.
like, I mean, there's always going to be progression, and there's going to be a transition. There's going to be new jobs that are coming up that are created by this. But if we're not careful, what's going to happen is that gap between the haves and the have-nots is going to
Be
become
even
the
wider.
Grand Canyon.
Right.
Because if now I can make digital employees and to do automate some of these things that I used to have to hire somebody to do in my business, and now I don't need that. And so you're going to have people obviously making more money with less people. So I think people got to really figure out a way to be creative. And I think these trades are going to be really big for our boys, even though they are still coming for it with the AI stuff. Like, robots that'll lay tiles and do all kind of things. But the important thing is that we got to stay locked in so that we can move forward. And you got to think about this. Where are you going to fit in the big picture? Don't just sit here and let I think my valedictorian, she said one thing. She said, in life there's people that make things happen, there's the people that watch things happen, and there's people that wonder what happened. And so if you're not making it happen, then you're watching it happen. If you're watching it happen, you're going to end up wondering what happened. So don't let that be you.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's I'm gonna get off my soapbox now. I'm gonna get off my soapbox right now.
Okay. AC the Money Guy told you last 2 weeks ago about putting away money, remember?
Yeah.
And now you see, we are here to help the community. He spoke about this. If I don't believe it was 3 weeks ago, he said, even if you're making $20, you put away $1. Put away $1, at least 3 to 4 months of survival. Now, guess what? The banks are giving out loans for people that don't have a paycheck. So the bank is going to be killing people right now because interest rate, even though they're lower, what's going to happen? You think this is the fall of the economy? Because right now they're giving all the federal people that don't have a job, they're saying come to Wells Fargo, come to Navy Federal to get a check to hold you over. You should already have that.
They should, but I mean, shout out to the banks. I think they're doing something to help people because, it's a scary stat. I think the average person doesn't even have like $500 to $1,000 put away for an emergency. So I think it's good that the banks are doing that because we've seen the government shut down before, and we know how this. I mean, Lord willing, they'll get it all situated soon. But in the past, how it's always played is these people might go without money. But then they get a back check for the big thing. So if the banks are probably seeing that direct deposit and stuff, they're probably willing to step out there on that. So I mean, I think it's a good thing because, but it should also be a wake up call to all of us because we don't control the whole picture. We can control what we do, but we can't control how someone responds to us. We can't control the next person's actions. So take care of yourself, control the controllables, get in the habit of saving. It doesn't matter what you're starting with. It's the compound interest effect. I mean, if you don't think that stuff adds up, look at anybody who's processing credit cards in their business. Look at those processing fees. Look at what that 2, 3, 4% that company is charging. Look what that does. In the grand scheme of things, it really adds up quickly. So you gotta pay attention to that.
Okay, if someone want to ask you a question or reach out to you, how can they get to you?
Yes. So you can reach me at carconsulting.us. You also can reach me on social media at Car Consulting, and on Instagram it's car_consulting. You can send a DM or just my schedule links are there. You can for sure jump on my calendar. Would love to help you. Love to help you strategize. We help businesses. We help businesses raise capital, mitigate risk, and make sure they have bankable, scalable, exit-ready businesses.
And automate some of their SOPs because you're helping me automate some of my stuff.
that's part about that bankable and exit. Well, really more so the exit-ready, because at some point when you want to pass that business on, if you're running around in your business doing every single thing yourself, I got news for you. There's not a lot of investors who want to buy that. Nobody wants to buy a job. They want to buy a business. They want to buy an investment. So you got to automate those things, organize those things. And when we say automate, we don't necessarily mean like AI necessarily, but we got to leverage technology. I mean, I think it's kind of a two-edged sword. It is a two-edged sword because of AI and because of the cost of these tools that we can use with AI. Someone with a very small budget, they can really make themselves effective in this situation. So it's going to give people who maybe have less money and who have an idea, opportunity to kind of shine. But man, listen, you better figure out how to leverage it to your advantage, because if you're just sitting there, you're doing a routine job that can be repeated over and over and over. The robots are coming.
Okay, like you say, keep your record organized as a tax professional. That's one of the things that you must have. Start a simple folder or get an app for receipt, income, donation, and expenses. When you come in front of me and like somebody giving me stacks and stacks and stacks of I did this, I did that, I'm going to charge you. I'm charging you for going through your I did this, and I did that. Keep your record organized. We thank you for it. When tax season come around, you don't have to stress. Go through your credit card bills, go through your bank account, set it up. There's some inexpensive organizer like Waves is one that you can organize your bills with, and it doesn't cost.
What about Zero? Have you had anybody
Zero?
Zero?
It's for big companies. Okay. I really don't know the thing behind it, but I know Waves. QuickBooks to me was kind of complicated. I do have somebody in my office that does do payroll and she does bookkeeping. Shout out to Kizzy. So if you do need help in getting all your receipts, income, donation, expenses, check your mileage on your car now before you do your oil change. December 31st, subtract January to December, and that will give you pretty much of some of the mileage that you did on your car, because that's an expensive. You have a small business that you can write off.
Yes. Yeah, that mileage. So what's the mileage rate? It was like
67.
Whoa. Last time, I guess I haven't looked at that stuff in a while. It was like 56 last time. That's, you got to think about that. And so how do you determine what mileage you can deduct?
Business mileage. You're going to deduct the business mileage.
So if I went to a business meeting, if I went to work, if I networking, any of that, so I can deduct those miles. So think about that, guys. So if you drove 100 miles at 67 cents a mile, that is $67 for every 100 miles that you drive for business related expenses. So man, I'm sure that there's some people leaving money on the table there. Like that really adds up, especially those sales professionals. Right. If you're in a sales profession or
real estate,
you're moving around a lot. Yes, absolutely.
medical tech, transportation, all those transportation people that have assisted living facility that they take the kids and bring them to doctor's appointment. Remember, if that's your business, I know people with old folks home that take the clients to the doctors. That's part of the billable 67 cents per month.
100%. Yeah. So how can someone get organized? Like if they have not, maybe they haven't, maybe they don't know the different categories for their receipts or things like that. How can someone get prepared so that when they come in, they don't have to come in your office with a trash bag of receipts and you're gonna look at them and say, this is gonna cost a lot.
Right.
How can they prepare themselves to make themselves better organized and just make things easier for their preparer and probably save yourself some money in the process?
Like I said, go through your credit card. And you know one place also, go through Amazon because I order a lot of stuff on Amazon for my business.
Yes.
Go through your Amazon receipts and stuff like that and put them in category. If something is mileage, right, mileage. If something is food, right, food. Remember, it used to be 100% write off of food. It's not 100% anymore. It's 50%. So you can write off food. You can write off uniform, advertising. If you have, I have what you got, Netflix at my office. Those things you can write off. So write off entertainment, like everything, put in a category, go month by month and add them all up together, or just say month. My husband does. He put January and all the bills. So if you have all the bills there, then you like breaking it down to a smaller, scalable thing.
Yeah. And also, again, it just comes down to having a system.
Right.
So if you do it once a week, once a month, however often, that's going to help you out a whole lot so you don't have to wait or pay extra money to get those things done. And you'll have an idea of what those deductions look like because most people have no clue what taxes are going to look like. They have no idea deductions. They just drop a pile of receipts and hope that you call them back and say, you got a direct deposit coming.
Like he said, the word, don't rely on refunds. Refund isn't free money. It means you overpaid. You let the government have your money and use and got the interest for free. So when you get a refund, just like you said, it isn't free money. It means you overpaid. So you can adjust your withholding so more can stay in your paycheck. Some people, they don't know how to calculate it. So if you don't want to bill at the end and you're used to getting your money, you can leave it the same way. But if not, it's fourth quarter, adjust your W-4. So when you do get the W-2s, they won't look. I have my W-2 right here. So adjust your W-4. So when you get your W-2, you will not be owing as much, or you'll be getting a refund, which is not what we're supposed to be doing. If you need your money during the regular year.
Gotcha. So let me ask you this then. What about people who are in like commission based jobs and things like that, where they get high commission checks? Like for example, I got a good friend of mine. I mean, he makes real good money, 6 figures is his base salary, but he's in like government sales. So like his commission checks might be 80,000, 90,000, that type of situation, like monthly or quarterly. Do you recommend that they like adjust that when they know that they have like $100,000 paycheck coming or something? Or how would you advise a client who is in that type of situation to set themselves up for success? Because obviously I don't want to give an interest-free loan. But more importantly, I do not want you to say, get your checkbook ready when you come see me, Aaron. You're going to need to pay my fee for pay the IRS. That's not what we want to hear. So how would you advise someone who's in that type of space to position themselves?
Put away 33% of your income. If not, you'll be paying that self-employment tax when it comes time to tax summon. We talked about this before. Put away a little bit every month. Remember, we talked about getting the interest savings and putting away money every month. Act like you're a W-2 employee. Remember, we talked about that. Put it away so when the bill does come, you're not like, oh, I owe the IRS $10,000. If you're putting it away there, then when it comes time, you can say, okay, here's the payment. Or you can borrow from yourself and pay it back. So we talked about that, putting away every time you get some money, put away 33% of the money.
That's big. That's big. That's important. No, I think that's a good tip. Absolutely.
Yeah, ask for help early. Tax pros are the busiest month is January through April. You ask me that. Well, right now is one of my business season. I guess because the businesses, I'm having more business now, not regular people coming to me. It's the small businesses that's making money that needs to have their taxes done by October 15th. I have 2 clients, your 3 clients. You will be done by October 15th. That's what I'll do. You want attention, great advice. Come when the season slow down. They say April, but I say May or June because I do have late filers. July is the best time to reach me. You can reach me at 447918840. Again, I'm Dr. Huie and I'm the Tax Diva. You can reach me out. You can hit me up on Google. I'm there, Shanann Huie TaxNet. So those are things that you can do. Get your stuff organized. We never ever come here without leaving tips for our loyal listeners. What's one book you're reading right now? Aaron is the bookworm. He's a nerd.
For sure.
Yeah, what book are you
I'm
reading?
still finishing up the five success patterns, how to recognize those success patterns, and yeah, so I'm enjoying it because this gentleman was an entrepreneur and he built businesses and all the rest of it. And what's funny is he built his businesses before people were really leveraging computers like that, or in the early days. And you should see like like he had a manual CRM. His dashboard looked like his wall in his office looked like the CRM dashboard of that. He's tracking all his trucks, where they at, where are the orders, what are this, what are that. But that's the key to being able to have predictable success. You have to put systems in place. If you just wake up every day and just hope that you're just gonna walk outside and the customer's gonna just fall out the sky,
They're not.
they not. And if they do, it's not gonna be frequently enough for you to earn a good living. So you gotta plan. And you gotta be diligent. You gotta have consistent efforts. And everything we're talking about, from savings to valuing your business to planning for your taxes to putting systems in place,
Right.
it's just all about being organized, and it all just leads towards you being just a more accomplished and better proficient professional, because being disorganized costs you a lot of time. When you don't know, I mean, just think about it. Just all the stuff. Like, if you don't know where something is, like, you gotta go find it. Those little 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 seconds, they all add up. And we're not getting any of it back. So let's not waste time. Let's redeem the time. Let's be diligent with our time. So the wealth code unlocked, as we said, is not just about money. We did talk about taxes a lot today, but which is very relevant. We talked about the government shutdown and some of these things. But we were breaking down how to survive the AI shift, and now we're bringing it home with one of the most overlooked secrets in business growth, and that's just the power of knowing your business's value and how that connects directly with your taxes. So most business owners think that evaluation only matters when they're ready to sell or exit, but truthfully, it should really be part of your annual tax strategy, and then also part of your risk management strategy. Because if your business is worth $1 million, and you only have it insured for 100,000, well, God forbid if something happened and the building burned down with all your stuff and goodies in there, man, you're taking a huge loss. So those are some ways that you can position it right there. And the key right there is valuation is not just about selling; it's about strategy. So I would encourage all of my business owners to reach out to us for the month of October. We are doing a free business valuation snapshot to show you what your business is valued at, show you those KPIs, how your business stacks up against other businesses in the same industry, so that you can look at where your biggest areas of opportunity are to grow.
Okay. What is KPI?
KPI is key performance indicator. Okay. So those are stats that you can track, because we all kind of know what they are, like, throughout the business, but when you lay that out and you can focus on it, whenever you can isolate something and show it to someone, then they can focus on it. So we can narrow those down to a couple key points where the customer transitions and key points in the process that we really need to manage effectively in order for us to maintain profitability and functionality and just keep things moving forward. That make sense?
That makes sense. When do you think, like we're talking about the shutdown right now, when should a person start to safeguard what they have? Okay, suppose you only have like $10,000 in the bank. Let's say you have $10,000 in the bank. Should you get a credit card to leverage yourself right now? Because remember, everything is shut down. You're right.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think these are the type of situations credit cards are great for.
Right.
It's a temporary situation. We're expecting this to be resolved. So don't spend your cash, because if you spend that 10,000 in cash, like, I mean, let's just say you have an expense for 10,000, right? We'll just make this real simple. So if you go spend the cash, well, the cash is gone.
Right.
All right. So now you have the credit card, but you still have to make a payment on the credit card.
Right.
So, but you don't have the money you spend on the cash. So, um, I would leverage my credit card in that situation, and that way you can hold on to the cash. So then, if that credit limit gets a little bit higher or whatnot, you can rely on the cash, and of course, pay that down to below 30%. You want to max out these credit scores. If you're below 30%, you're getting points for those on your account. If you're above 50%, you're actually losing points. So, but yeah, I think it's a great time to leverage credit. What do you think?
And that's what we talked about last week. Remember, we used to say cash is king. Now cash is not king anymore. Credit is king and cash is queen. Like we were talking last week. Why would you take your last $100,000 or $10,000 and put it when you can use credit card? Leverage yourself for 6 months while you're in this mess that's going on, or even if it doesn't last 6 months. Because, like he said, once you use the cash, your cash is gone. Then you gotta have to work it back to get that liquid back. So this is a good time. Oh, I have an 800 credit score. Yeah, you have good credit, but what are you using it for? Just to say I have good credit. It's times like these that you need to be using your credit. I'm not telling you, remember, we're not attorneys. We do not give out financial advice. But it's between, like my sister said, you knew my credit wasn't that great when you gave me the credit card. Use it to leverage yourself right now. This will be a good time. Big shout out to Wells Fargo and Navy Federal for supporting our boys in the military. We really
man. Big
appreciate
shout out
it.
to our vets, all the men
Yes.
and women in uniform.
Mhm.
Big shout out, big shout out, big shout out. We appreciate all that you guys do.
Right.
And that's these guys put their life on the line for the
Right.
country, and they go wherever they're told to go.
And they get the
follow
worst
orders.
treatment.
Sometimes they don't get treated well.
Right.
I make a point when I see
Right.
a man or woman, man or a serviceman or woman, to always just thank them for their service.
Right.
And even when I see the vets walking around, I thank them, because you know that's what allows us to live in this country.
Right.
And although we have our problems just like everywhere else, there's no place that's perfect. I like it here, and so I appreciate you guys, all those government workers, all those people keeping us safe, all those people providing those essential services that we need in our
I'm a
community.
government worker. I'm a teacher.
We appreciate you. Take care of the babies. That's the future. You got one of the most important jobs. Take care of, that's the future.
Right.
That's the future. They're gonna be running this country. We have to have brilliant educators who are passionate about their job to educate the youth, and help them to learn and grow.
Okay, remember, knowledge isn't power until you put it to work. We're giving you some knowledge. Put it to work.
Put it to work.
Put it to work. And remember, we just unlocking another piece of the wealth code. That's what we try to do every. This is a passion that was born out of divine intervention. And we're just like everything we've said so far has happened.
Yeah.
Everything we've said, so we're telling you, put away your money, do this, get your credit straight, invest, get evaluation, do this. It's like we've been doing this, I think, almost 6 months now, and everything we've said so far, max out your 401k, put away money for your rainy day, and it is a rainy day.
Yeah,
it is a rainy day right
always
now.
gonna rain. So yeah, it's those small, consistent steps, people. So don't be discouraged if you feel like your business is not valued at where you want it to be valued at. Don't be discouraged if you feel like your credit score is not where it needs to be. What's important is that you have the knowledge of it, and once you have the knowledge, you can go ahead and move forward from there. So if you guys reach out to me, we do have a great tool. We use a credit report tool that is actually the same one that the lenders pull, so you can see your 3 scores. You actually can pull that for $1. So if people don't know what their score is, pull that. Just message me credit. I'll make sure I send that link over to you. But yeah, you got to know where you're at. So don't be afraid. I see a lot of people do the same thing with their financial health as they do with the doctor. You feel like you feel something, it ain't quite right, but you just try to tough it out, and it ends up being a big situation. And I'm speaking to myself when I say that, because I had a situation last year, and I felt like something was a little bit wrong, but I'm gonna take some vitamins, I'm gonna work out a little bit more, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Nah, man, you gotta go see the doctors and go see about it, because I may have not had to. I had a couple surgeries last year. It was crazy, but I probably could have prevented that if I just had went in there and had a conversation. And so what I'm telling you is, don't do that with your physical health. Don't do it with your financial health, your spiritual health, or your mental health. You know, hey, you go get checked up. Go talk to people. Go work on that. And you know, we talk about living a balanced life because that's really where it's at. Because if you got all the money and you're unhealthy, well, that's no good. You can have all the muscles in the world, but no money, that's no good. You know what I'm saying? You can have all the knowledge in your head, but you haven't applied nothing, that's no good. So we got to get a balance, and we got to, put it to work. Put that knowledge to work.
Yeah, we talk about health being wealth, relationship, building good relationship, being time, freedom to spend your time the way you want to, spiritual wealth, being grounded. We're not telling you where to ground it, but grounded. Like my husband says, if you don't have no purpose, then what are you living for? You got to have a purpose. So stay grounded. Wealth means so much to, it's more than just a bank account. It's the balance of money, relationship, time, spirit. And you feel so good when everything is in aligned.
And be comfortable being you. Okay? God made you you. He made me. So there's a lot of people on this world. Everybody's unique and different. Don't be afraid to be who you are, because nobody can do you like you. And in the words of the late Nipsey Hussle, he said, I like to. He said, when you stay in your lane, it works out better for you because there's no traffic there. Because that's your lane. That's where you're supposed to be. But when you looking over here, you're looking over there. Oh, I'm supposed to be over here. I'm supposed to be over there. I mean, it's okay to look for inspiration, but whenever you're doing something, it has to be bigger than the money, and you have to do something that's important to you, that's near and dear to your heart. Because if not, man, I mean, how many times have you guys been to a doctor and he just seemed angry as I don't know what?
I have a good doctor. My doctor, shout out to my doctor, Dr. Levi Jones. Anytime I go, he make me laugh. He listens to me. He listens to me. I can tell him my secrets. He is a married doctor, so he understands not just health, he understands relationship. Shout out to my doctor, and that's what we're talking about, having relationships that are important. And one more thought before I stop. Don't forget, when you get up high and high, you can always fall down. So be nice to people. A lot of teachers know what I'm talking right now. They always beating up the teachers and beating up the teachers. But check your Google right now. Google what's going on right now. They always want to beat the teachers down, beat the teachers down. But guess what? Anytime you're real high, the higher you go up, the more a monkey show his butt. So guess what? When you're coming down on your face. All DeKalb County employees, check your email right now and your Google.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, but to the point, what you were making, money's a mirror. It magnifies who you really are.
Right.
Because if you
nasty,
you gonna feel real comfortable being nasty, because you're gonna feel like no, you don't need nobody, you got it all covered and all the rest of it. But if you're a caring, compassionate person who loves your community and who wants to do things, guess what? By you having money, you're gonna be able to amplify those things and be able to give back. Like I was talking about my friends, there's some lovely entrepreneurs. They do that every single year. I don't even know how much these people pay out of their own pocket. But they do it to. That's what's important, man. Money is not everything, and you gotta. But it is a mirror, so pay attention to yourself. When you get an extra $20 in your bank account, you start acting funny. If it is, you need to check yourself, because that's not a good way to be.
Okay, we have one of our listeners. They say, I thought you could make $1 out of 50 cents. How? Put 25 cents up every week. In 4 weeks, you got $1. Now, think what she said, think and start from somewhere. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, well, listen, like you said, $1 out of 15 cents, but like you really could be, like, for example, I was telling my son about selling pencils and little stuff in school, right? How much would it cost you to buy a 10-pack of pencils? I don't know, $1 maybe. You could sell them pencils probably for 25 cents a piece.
But it's against the law in the school to do that.
Okay, well, on the playground, on the bus, at the bus stop. I mean, I'm just saying, but the point is, that's how you make $1 out of 15 cents, because people will pay for convenience. That's that same loaf of bread in your grocery store that they have inside the gas station. It's 5 times as much in the gas station, but why do people pay for it? convenience, because I don't want to walk into the back of the grocery store. I don't want to make an extra stop. I'm gonna do it right now. So that's some ways that people can really level up. So service-based businesses, I love them because you're leveraging your knowledge and your skills to level up. So if you're trying to figure out how to make $1 out of 15 cents, take that 15 cents and invest that into some knowledge. Learn how to learn a skill and build on that. Figure out a service that you can provide. People pay for service all the time. They don't like to cut the grass. They don't want to cut the dog. They don't want to clean up the dog mess in the yard. They don't. The list goes on and on and on and on. What we don't like to do. So yeah, find one of those, man, because I love service businesses for that, because you're selling your knowledge and your skill set, and it doesn't. You're not having to put a whole bunch of money into it every time. But man, can you believe this?
We're almost done with
my
1
goodness,
hour.
my goodness, my goodness.
Hi. Oh, a new listener. Hi, Dr. Dion Nicholas. How you doing? Thank you for tuning in. Like and share, like and share. We're at the end of our program. What's one thing that you would advice you would give out, AC?
One piece of advice I would give out is start from where you are,
Right.
work with what you got,
Right.
and control the controllables. Okay. When I say control the controllables, focus on the things that are within your control. If it's out of your control, leave that for God, and just focus on what you can do, because you can't control someone else.
How can they get to you?
You can reach me at carconsulting.us. That's CARRCONSULTING.US. You can also reach me on Instagram, car_consulting, and car consulting on Facebook. How about you, Dr. Huie? How
You
can they
can
reach you?
just Shanann Huie, Facebook, Dr. Shanann Huie, on Instagram, Facebook, Google Dr. Shanann C. Huie. I'm here for you. Until next time, this is my last and final thought. Stay smart, stay disciplined, and keep unlocking your wealth, because remember, it means different things to different people. Have a fabulous week, whatever is left of it, on purpose.
Join us next week. We'll be unlocking this wealth code one digit of the combination at a time.
Okay. Peace. That was good. Good energy. Okay. My son, I got to pick him up at 8 o'clock.
Appreciate you guys tuning in. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.